Hello, everybody. Switching screens. Putting stuff to the side. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Oh, Adobe Live is here already. That's always a treat. Yesterday and today, I got to start with it. Vanessa is here. Hello, Vanessa. And we have Mortal Resistance in the chat. Mortal Resistance, blah, blah, blah. Hello. They say hi. Biola and Gareth are here. Hello. Vanessa and Gareth both stream here on Behance. There is a link to both Vanessa and Gareth's Behance profiles, so be sure to check them out. On that note, my name is Sara Mapes. I am an illustrator and designer from Cleveland, Ohio. And today we are going, well, illustrator and designer turned papercraft artist in the past year because of COVID, and I got a Cricut. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to be using Illustrator to design a papercraft that I will then cut out later on stream, and I will assemble and do all of the traditional work and stuff on stream. Turn that slightly down in my ears, I was jamming. So if you look down in my stream description, you will see past links to my other streams if you're interested in this project, where I will show you my sketching process, getting it into Illustrator. And then we've been working on some very basic flat shapes that are just white and black line art right now. Because this isn't going to be a digital illustration, the final result is going to be a big 16 by 20 papercraft. So let's switch screens. So you guys can see, this is a character from my favorite video game. She is a boss fight. Her name is Hydaelyn, and the game is Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know if you play. Anyhow, so what we worked on yesterday was getting a lot of this laid out. A few weeks ago, I had done the head, and then I got sick and couldn't stream because I felt miserable. So we got a lot of this laid out. We have to do the wings today, the sword, and the boots, which I talked about yesterday. And once that is done, there's some detail body work that I would like to do, and I would like to kind of adjust the way that some of her body is, because I'm not necessarily happy with the overall shape. So I'll be doing that, and then once we get to that part, we're pretty much done, and we can pull it into the Cricut software and start cutting, which will be a whole stream in itself. Nick is here. Hello, Nick. Oh, and Odari is here. Hello, Odari. Nick says I play. Yes, Nick, I know you play. Nick is a good friend in real life, and so is Dave. Dave is my love. They are both my mods. Speaking of Odari, Odari also streams here on Behance and has a subscription, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, be sure to check Odari out. Let's see, making sure I didn't miss any of the chat, because I was flapping my gums. No. Okay. Dave says she tolerates me. That is a lie. Anyhow, let's get started on these wings. Maybe I'll do the boots first. No, let's just get started on the wings. I'm in the mood to do the wings. Her sword, I believe I'm gonna have to take a better picture of this. We'll see. This is a pretty decent picture, but really what I would like to do is I would like to put the sword on like full display, and I would like to have more of like a side view of the sword so you can see like the whole layout. Dave says, and my bad jokes. Dave and I are really good at making dad jokes. We're really good at it. Okay, so if anybody has any questions about like this whole process and everything, because this is pretty plain looking, please let me know. I was talking a little bit about it yesterday. So, all right. So let's hide all of this. We can hide everything on our sketch but the wings, and then we can actually yank these over a little bit. And I explained before on stream there we go, that it is okay if these wings kind of hang off of the artboard a little bit. Oh, are we gonna have the same problem as yesterday? No. Yesterday I had something really weird happen with Illustrator, and I had to restart the entire program. It just wouldn't let me move an object, and I don't know why. Okay. Bliss is here. Hello, Bliss. Bliss was actually just streaming before me. I tuned in kind of late, but Bliss had some really good portraits going on. Bliss is a streamer here on Behance, so be sure to go check Bliss out. And Bliss also started a subscription, so be sure to check that out. See all the fun stuff. Okay. Let's open, I want to say it's this image, yes. And then let's see if we can flip that horizontally. Oops. So this is just a little image viewer. It's called Ref View. It's similar to Pure Ref. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I just want to make sure that I have really good reference going for this. Okay, so for the wings, what we're going to do is we're gonna start with a line. Let's make this like 10 points. Vanessa says, I never understand this bell thing on Behance. What is the bell thing? Just out of curiosity. Is it like the notification thing that like asks you if you want to like get notified when people go live? Because it asks me every time I tune into somebody's stream. Like, I follow all of you and I have it like set to like if someone goes live to notify me, and it's set, but it still asks me every time if I want to be notified, and I'm like, well, yes. Okay, we're gonna make that like a 30. I promise there's a method to my madness. So we're gonna use the width tool, and then modify the width tool a little bit. Or modify the shape that we make, I should say. I'm gonna use this as a base, and then I will modify more from there. But I want to make sure I get these like little blades on at like that are supposed to be her feathers. I want to make sure I get those right. And then I'm basically just going to expand this. Oops, wrong tool. And continue to modify. I think that's probably a pretty good start. Vanessa says, oh my god, I'd forgotten about that tool. That's what I was talking about yesterday, the whisk tool. It's my favorite thing. It's like life-changing. Gareth says, I know a wingsmith, lol. She builds opening wings for cosplayers. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And would be like an absolute dream to like do a cosplay with like wings that actually like opened. I used to love going to conventions and stuff before COVID, but I haven't been to one since because ew. Like, I don't have another like thing. Like most of the conventions around here, there's like one at like a really big water park, and I just can't bring myself to go to the water park on top of like COVID and everything. Okay, so we're gonna bring this out, and then we're gonna simplify some of these points. Excuse me. I think we need to bring this out. See, Odari says I get notifications, or I get everyone on my notifications. I watch all of you. You are always like popping in people's streams. I have I have trouble at work sometimes. Like if people go live, I get busy and I can't like multitask. So like I'll see someone go live and sometimes I'll join and then like my brain starts doing whatever I'm doing and I like don't even say anything. Let's see. The Feathered Phoenix on Instagram. I'm gonna copy that down. And I'm gonna put it in a sticky note. A sticky note with all of the Moon Puff and the Sun Puff names that we came up with on stream that I haven't done anything with yet because I got sick and then the holidays happened and then I got sick. So I can check that out later. That's super neat. Okay, let's turn this to a semi-better point and then get rid of that. Can actually probably get rid of that one too. Bliss says, but I don't want to cosplay, just have some wings to wear every now and then, mostly now, and around my home. Hey, I wouldn't blame you. That sounds so cool. Dave would wake up in the morning and he'd be like, ah, I see you're wearing the wings again for literally zero reason. I'd be like, what do you mean? See, Gareth says she has a pair that have a 4 meter, is that what that is? Wingspan? No, good old US. That's really big. That's like really, really big. Bring that in. Oh, this dark green is not helping my cause at all. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Oh, Vanessa is asking what will happen if you click the bell. Do you get a sound notification? I only have one now, Christy Sanderson. I don't notice the difference though. And you're very precise, Sarah. Thank you. I try. I'm gonna move that out of the way a little bit so it's easier for me to work. All these details will pay off. I hope. Okay, so let's make this a little bit pointier. And then I'm gonna round out the top up here. Actually, let's round it out a different way. Let's make this longer. I'm gonna round it out like that. So that way I have like a good, nice, rounded space that I can like pivot and rotate. For when I glue stuff down. Oh, Lord. Oh, hello! My cat has come to say hi to everybody. Would you like to say hi to everyone? Nope, nope, nope. Now you gotta pay the toll. Come say hi. He says hello, everybody. He's very big. Very round. Okay, go on. Theodari is saying, I leave the bell alone, and Bliss is saying, clicking the bell gives you browser notifications. And then Vanessa is saying, hi Cat, what's his name? His name is Nyx, and he is a very large boy. Okay, so it looks like we need about 3 of these that are this shaped. I talked about yesterday on stream as well, a little bit. I do think I need another point in there. The detail and stuff, so like if you look at the reference picture that I have up, you see like all these like little, for lack of a better word, like creases and like detail and stuff. I will most likely draw that on. I could get really intricate with it and make like layers of paper if I wanted, but I don't know if I want to commit to that, so we'll see. I mean, that would be super cool, but I just don't know. Okay, I think that's probably a good like base shape for this. So it looks like we need 3 of these, and then if you look after these first big 3, the shape kind of gets shorter and like a little bit stubbier, and then I'll need 4 of those, and then it just turns into like this like scimitar like dagger looking shape. So let's work on, see, now you know, I wonder if I kind of want to do like, okay, let's see how this will work. Let's just try. So it looks like we have a shape that goes all the way up to this curve. So we're just gonna get rid of some of these points here. Not add points, Sarah. Hey Andre, how are you doing? Vanessa is saying Nyx. So it's spelled like N-Y-X, like that. I just posted it in the chat. He's actually named after a Final Fantasy character as well. Named after, if you can't tell, like my life is just Final Fantasy. He's named after this guy. Just pull him up. There he be. That guy. Anyhow. Final Fantasy is my love. It is my life. Let's see if we have Joel in the chat. Hello, Joel. How are you doing? Joel says hi. And Andre is here. Andre says, hey, you good people. How you doing, Andre? Thanks for popping in today. We're working on more of this paper craft. Odaria is saying, if I might ask, Sarah, what is your day job? I remember you saying that you use Illustrator at work, and I'm just curious. So I actually used to work with Jack, till she left me. I'm just kidding. She got a different job, but, that's how I met Jack. I work at a production company, turned creative company. So we started basically with doing like textbook art and like short animations and stuff, and some web-based stuff, and now we do like some longer animations. We still do like textbook art and stuff like that, and like production art for like print and digital media, and we do we've done some like 3D visualization and stuff. We've done a lot of stuff. So but yeah, so I do a lot of science-based and educational art too. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Copy, not that one. I think I want to copy this base shape, and then to do like this. I think I want to yank. Let's yank this guy out. Okay, so this looks a little odd, but I promise there is like a method to this oddness. I do kind of want this to like sink down underneath there. Okay, so I think I am gonna do this. I'm gonna get real intricate about it because I can. And then I will just add like some shading and stuff. So this is gonna be 3 layers of paper, basically. This one will be on the top. This layer will be on the second layer, and this one will be like the base on the bottom. So each wing will have 3 small layers of like paper that kind of like stick out from each other. Or each feather, I should say, feather blade. So let's group that. It looks like the second wing is about the same size with the second feather, and then this third one over here is probably a little bit smaller. Just do something like that. It's actually, we'll make this one just a smidge smaller, but not a lot. And then we can move these out of the way, and I will assemble like the wings as a whole. Let's take this guy, copy and paste him. Vanessa is saying, oh, all right, my cat's name. And Andre says, all good. Your stream is just part of Sunday afternoon. I'm glad. I'm glad. Weekends are the best. Odaria says, that's super cool. I have a lot of fun at work, for the most part. It can be really stressful, like, at times. You know, everyone thinks, like, art job, like, I'm gonna draw everything that I want every day, and that's really, like, not always how it works, but I do have a lot of fun. I do. Okay, so these like short little stubbier guys, I think I can just move these points around a little bit. Now, it looks like we have like a second, oh, it's not a second one. This whole area here just like shifts this way. I promise I'm gonna fix how weird this looks. I just want to get it in like the correct position and then hiccup. Okay, let's, we're gonna get rid of this top one. Actually, we're gonna get rid of only part of this top layer for a minute, so I'm not working with multiple objects and trying to make them the same. So we're just gonna leave this as a line for right now. And the same with the second object. We're just going to get rid of these because this curve that I have going on for them is correct, but like the base shape is not. Theodari says, I understand that. I have been in the screen printing business forever and in almost every department. That's really neat though. Do you guys do like a lot of t-shirts or do you do like screen printing for like other stuff? I know, I think Jack was talking about you were knowledgeable in screen printing. My cat be napping back there now. Okay, so this actually goes out this way. It still has a curve. Excuse me. That is still pretty short and stubby. Can get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And that. Not that. Too many lines. Okay, I think that's pretty good for this shape. That way. So let's move, we're gonna move this one. Oops, let's ungroup that. And move that one out of the way. And then we're gonna adjust where this shape goes, because this one's gonna come up here now. Okay, I think that's probably fine. Can you hear my brain sizzling? Because I can. I don't need that one anymore. I just need... no. This way. Sorry, I have to think about how I need to like layer all of this and how it all fits together as I'm doing it. And sometimes it can be just a little confusing. Let's actually yank this up that way. And then we're gonna refit that like that. Okay, cool. This one goes on top. So again, 3 layers of paper here. And then I think, let's group that. Need 4 of these. And these look to honestly almost be about the same size, so I will probably only shrink them just a smidge from one another. Okay, let's pull this up here. See, coming back in chat, sorry everybody, I was very focused on that. Let's see, we have, is it Jean in chat? They say hi. And then Odaria is answering my question saying, mostly shirts this year I'm going to print in my garage. I want to print simple cool stuff for streamers and subs on Behance. That is awesome. I didn't know that, Odari. I did not know that at all. That's super, super cool. And then we have Nishitha. Is that how you pronounce that? They say hello. Doing good so far. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's make, we need to make this like dagger shape down here. Which I really think we can just kind of pull one of these. Just needs to be, yep. I'm gonna duplicate that one and then again, we're gonna round this out so I have a nice space to work with. Okay, I think that's probably good. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. Oh, it looks like there's more in there. We're just gonna keep it at 7 and I will fill in the rest if I need to. It also doesn't look like these really change, size. It just looks like they're stacked differently. They might get actually a little bit longer towards where they meet her body. They get longer and then they get shorter. 7, 8, 9. Let's do 9. Okay, so there's those. And then we have these little in-between guys, which I think I'm just going to, so like we have this top layer here, which I need to do, and then it looks like that just repeats underneath it. So they look like they're textured a little bit different, but I don't think it matters for the purpose of the paper craft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and then we change into like these other dagger shaped pieces that are a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's make one of those. Let's put these in stacking order, so to speak. I think for these we can pretty much just kind of do like this. this a little bit longer than it needs to be, just to make sure I have room to work with again for like gluing and cutting when I get there. So let's duplicate this. Okay, that's probably good. And then we'll add, like, there's like a little divot here and like some lines that kind of come through here. That'll just get added later with like a colored pencil or something. It's probably too big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. I don't want these to get too small. That's probably good. And then we have, it's like the reverse shape of this pretty much. Oh, it's not even a reverse shape. Let's do one more of these. It's okay if we make some of these a little bit fatter. Looks like this one is a little bit more relaxed. Hello, why are you stuck? Sorry, my keyboard got stuck again. It does that. Yeah, it looks like this one is kind of like, the shape of it is a little bit more rounded out. For whatever reason. I think we're just gonna keep it like that. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then we have like these dagger shapes again that are pretty small that like, I don't know, let's do like 6 of these, but I'm probably gonna have to duplicate more because I don't really know like how many go down because it gets covered by like all this fabric over here. See, Odari is saying, this is amazing. I never thought of making wings like you're doing. Seems so much easier to do it in Illustrator. I've done angel wings before in Illustrator, and I can confirm that it's easier if you want to do like really detailed, like every single feather wing. The reason, like the specific reason that I'm doing it for this one is because this is going to be paper in the end. So I need like each piece of paper to come out like of the base so that it like has depth and detail and it doesn't end up looking like flat next to everything else. So okay, let's pan up here. Let's just move these off the page for a moment. I'm gonna make one more of these. It looks like there's one like hiding back here layered. And then this is the shape that I was talking about that looks like it like goes. Oh, do I just, yeah, I think I just want to duplicate this row. There should be two. So like we have this bottom row, this technically all goes together, and then this goes over it. It's like the second row in here, and then this one goes over that, which is this top row that's super like visible. And then we have a couple like actual feather looking feathers in here. And then like this top thing, I think I'm just gonna make as one shape. And to make these feathers, I'm just gonna have it cut out like the basic like shape of a feather, and then I'm gonna take scissors and snip it and then like ruffle the ends of it. See, Odari says, oh right, that's awesome. Thank you, Odari. Thank you. Sorry, my brain. It's two different places. Thank you. Daniel is here. Hello, Daniel. Thanks for popping back today. Daniel says, so when you say paper, I assume that you're printing and cutting these shapes. What are the dimensions of the finished piece approximately? Yes, so I have a Cricut, which will save me a lot of time for, you know, cutting all of the shapes and everything, and it'll cut like exactly what I'm designing here in Illustrator. The finished dimensions, I think I made this artboard like the size it needs to be. Hold on one second. It's going to be 16 by 20, and then the wings are going to hang off the page a little bit. So probably like 16 by like maybe 24-ish, something like that. But yes, I will, I'm going to cut everything out of cardstock, and then I will put the details on with colored pencil, alcohol marker, paint, you know, whatever is needed. I have some fun metallic markers that I can add in here, so. Okay, so let's do this thing up here is going to look super plain right now, like the fabric kind of does, because it all that detail needs to be added with other materials. So that's just going to be just like this, just like a little lump. And then it looks like I did a pretty decent job of like outlining. Take that off. What this needs to be. Old Square Enix and their super complicated characters. Excuse me. Let's see, Daniel says cool. 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 And then Betty is here, and Betty is asking, do you interchange between keyboard and mouse versus a graphics tablet and a pen? I do. I was actually talking about that a little bit yesterday because somebody asked if I was using just the mouse. And right now I am using just the mouse, but I do change between a tablet sometimes. It just depends on really what I'm working on and how my hand feels, if that makes sense. There are some things that like need a really organic touch to them, and most of the time that is when I switch to a Wacom tablet, or if I'm having a lot of trouble making a shape with the mouse, because it doesn't, like, my hand doesn't feel right holding the position of the mouse. I will switch. This actually looks like it needs to come out. I think this is pushed out too far, really. Again, we're gonna put like a big portion of this shape needs to overlap, so I have some place to glue. So I hope that helped answer your question, Betty. Let's see, Pablo is here. Hello, Pablo. Pablo says, magnificent. Thank you very much. And Annika is here. Hello, Annika. How are you doing today? Annika is another streamer here on Behance. Grab a link for Annika. There is a link to Annika's Behance profile, so be sure to check Annika out. Okay. Excuse me. Just need to give myself like some nice little ridges in here to work with, so that way when I add like this detail and stuff in. Thank you for the follow, Tariq. I can use my button. Thanks for the follow. I have like a base to work with when I cut this out. Okay, I think that's probably okay. This seems like it comes down quite a bit more. Oh, thank you for the follow as well, Betty. Using my button. It's like juts out, like. This is like such a weird shape. David, thank you for the follow as well. Coming back to the chat. Betty says, thank you so much, Sarah. No problem. And Annika says, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I have so much more energy now that I'm not like sick anymore. Okay, I think that shape's probably good. There's some like odd layering in here, if that makes sense. I'm still not like a huge fan of this. I think it just looks weird right now because it's so flat. I think that's really 90% of my issue. Okay, it's good enough. We're gonna leave it like that. Let's see. Tariq says, you're welcome. Thank you for the creative content. I'm happy to be here. I know Darius says your button is getting overtime. Good. I made it for a reason. I want it to get used. Oh, Darius also asking if we got any snow in Cleveland this morning. I woke up to it today. Yes, we got a ton of snow. Again. I think this is like the third time in 2 weeks that we've gotten just a massive amount of snow. Okay, so this needs to come down. I think this needs to come out like this. I think I'm gonna have a hard time making these loop-de-loops. Dave and I have been pretty much avoiding as much as we can going outside in the snow because we both hate it. We are lucky enough to live in an apartment complex, so we don't have to like plow or shovel or anything, but it's still like, it's just been a lot. I had to go pick up a package. We have like a locker system that like is where like Amazon and stuff like drops off packages, or like the post office, so they don't get stolen. Thank you for the follow, Kevin. And even just walking to the locker system was like an expedition. The snow was up to my knees. I accidentally threw my keys into the dumpster while I was taking the garbage out, so I had to hop into the dumpster in the middle of like it snowing with snow up to my knees to fish the keys out of the dumpster. So that happened this week. Mid getting over getting sick. I'm like, this is great. Vanessa says, Sarah, the button, are you using the Elgato Stream Deck or something similar? No, I don't have a Stream Deck yet. I just have OBS open on another monitor, and I'm really quick at like hitting like the little refresh button. So like when I get like a notification in the bottom corner of my screen, I'll hit it. Let's see, Pablo says, amazing attention to detail, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a very complex piece all around, so I am very, very excited and very happy to make as much detail as possible. I am going to leave, that kind of like came out all jumbled. I'm going to leave this big like weird shape here because this is going to allow me to have like space to glue the wings onto the back of her, or glue her to the wings, I should say, as I hiccup. This music is pumping, popping, it's jamming. Okay, there's that. I'll fill both of those in with white. We'll put this guy in. So with this area, I know it looks like super plain right now, but I'm gonna come in here with like colored pencil and make like all of like this like little detailed like texture line that you can see, textured lines that you see in here. It's me forgetting what my controls are. Oh, Dari says, ditto, I have a shovel today. I'm sorry. I did have to shovel today. I am sorry, Odari. I am so sorry. That could not have been fun. And Odari is saying, oh no, to my key story. I hate snow. Vanessa saying, oh, okay, to the Stream Deck question. And also saying, Odari, it must be very cold in your place. I wish it snows here a little. We only get gray days. You can take the snow if you want, Vanessa. You can have it. Just take it all. I don't want it. I wish I could like open the window and show you guys. It's terrible out. We must have like a solid, I don't know, probably like over a foot out there, which I know doesn't like sound like a lot, but it's, I mean, it's, yes, it's big. Think like a shin's length worth of snow. Okay, so let's do, let's make a rectangle, and we're just gonna make this feather shape very loosely for like these actual like feather looking feathers. that's probably good. Like I said, what I'm gonna do with these is I'm just gonna cut little slits that like go in like this, and then I will ruffle the paper so it like kind of looks a little bit more like a feather. Which I should probably do some test cuts of those because I've never actually tried to do that before, so I don't know like how difficult it is. Okay, so let's start constructing these. There's 1, 2, 3 big ones. Sure we have enough room to glue, and then it looks like we have like 3 smaller ones in here as well. This one's pretty much just very small in that general area. It's probably a little too much. There we go. Oh, Stephen Booth is here. Hello, Stephen Booth. How are you doing today? Vanessa says, hee too much snow is also bad. Yes, yes it is. I had a couple people that were like pretty much snowed into their house this week that I know. There just comes a point where it's just not worth trying to get out of your house. You just kind of, you're stuck. You're like, it's not worth it. Oops. Actually, this one needs to go. Back like that. Make sure I'm layering these properly. See, Stephen Booth says, sorry I'm late. I was just about to grab dinner and settle in to watch when my sister called me. No worries. No worries, Stephen Booth. We had a nice chat with your sister. Speaking of sisters, my sister just had a baby, so I'm an aunt, officially. I haven't gotten to see him yet because, you know, I was sick for 2 weeks and COVID. I should say I'm officially an aunt again. My brother has kids, so I just never get to see them because they live in a different state. Oh, yeah, that's actually probably fine. There we go. Oh, Jari says, sweet. Congrats. Thank you. I can't wait to meet the little guy. His name is Everett. There we go. Yes. I tell you, these wings are so complex. I'm gonna have such a great time trying to like assemble these later. Probably be many, many mumbled cuss words. I'm not an exceedingly patient person. Like, I'll be happy to do this, but my patience level sometimes for like really intricate things runs very thin. Let's see, everybody is saying congrats, Aunt Sarah. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Andrea is saying, yes, it will be many pieces. Oh, thank you, Jean, for the follow. I can use my button. There's my button. Thank you very much. All right. Let's yank these over here. Thank you. Is it Gerardo? Gerardo? Is that how you pronounce that? Thank you for the follow as well. Okay, so I kind of have to be careful about where I'm placing these specific ones because this is like this little underlayer right here. And it basically looks like it, actually, let's get rid of the top layer on this one because you won't see it. Actually, it'll probably be the same. These can just be single layered, I think, and it'll be fine. Ooh. Chantel, thank you for the follow as well. You guys are awesome today. Okay. So I think I'm gonna have to make this a little bit fatter, like that, because I need this shape to cover this shape when it attaches, and that was just not happening before. Umacorn is here. Hello, Umacorn. How are you doing today? Umacorn is also another streamer here on Behance, so be sure to go check Umacorn's page out, or Behance profile out, I should say. Okay, let's take these two. Probably gonna have to make that one a little bit thicker as well. Yes. There we go. I have to do a lot of like stabilizing. I think I would also like to, for the moment, group those together. And then I'm gonna group all of those together. And that's just gonna make it easier for like layering things and making sure that everything's kind of like stays where it's supposed to. Okay, that looks pretty good. Try and make this a little bit easier on myself and do this way. Umacorn says, how do you do that so fast? I need to have my links ready next time when I'm streaming. Thanks, by the way. I have two monitors. So I have the chat. So basically what I have is I have OBS kind of like in a little half window. And then I have Behance so I can like watch my connectivity to make sure I'm not disconnecting. I have that in like a little like sliver of a window. And then I pop out the chat next to that. So I have all three windows next to each other. And when you guys pop up in the chat, I just right click your names in the chat window, open it in a new tab, copy paste, and then I'm done. So that's how I do it so fast. I don't know if that helps at all, but that's just how I do it. I think these need to come out like that way a little bit more. Oh, Dari says, I know, right? Super fast. And Umacorn says, I keep forgetting to mention that info just in case some strangers stumble upon my stream that there are streamers in chat. That's okay. I mean, you don't have to. I try to do a support. That's all. In the end, really, your stream is about you. Okay, wait. Sorry, my brain died for a second. But really, I'm just here. I'm just here to make other artists friends and, you know, do a happy, healthy support of all these other wonderful creatives. So I want to make sure that, like, I'm able to do that as I can. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So then we have these guys that need to go in next. Maybe. It'd probably just be easier to bring this to the front. Oh, I see. All of this made its way to a different layer on accident because of my settings. Oop, did I just delete that? I sure did. Good thing it's right here and I can just recopy the shape. I do have to wonder. That is not at all what I meant to do. Time is it? Whew, it is 3:13 already. Let's see, Umacorn is saying, yes, thank you for the tip, and but you want to share some kind of support when you're receiving though. Yes, that is correct. Katarina is here. Hello, Katarina. How are you doing today? Oh, Randall is also here. Hello, Randall. How are you guys doing today? Thanks for popping in. Okay, we're gonna delete that, and then we're gonna take from about there, make that a smidge bigger. And then we can kind of stagger that a little bit, I think. Yes. That's probably good. Okay, so we just have like this bottom area now. Which really, I think this needs to get wider. That needs to get wider. And I think this one needs to get a little bit wider. One more. Okay, let's do this last one. See, Katarina is saying, fine, how are you? I'm doing good today. I am happy to be streaming this because we're making really good progress on it and I'm very excited about it. So I have to tell you, I'm not really looking forward at this present moment in time to putting these wings together in paper. It's not bad. It's kind of bad. It's okay though. Maybe it'll go easier than I think it will. Who knows? Okay, I don't think we need those. I think we can just copy these now. That is probably the last one that we will need. Go to the back. Thank you. Okay. Let's group all of that. We can move all of this back to about center. Okay, those two can kind of crisscross a little bit. For stability, I will probably put like a big piece of like glue or like some kind of tape there to make sure that that stays down. Let's hide that for a moment. Umacorn says, wings look great, thank you. And Odari says, looking cool for too cool for school. Thank you. And Katarina says, yay, looking great so far. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's unhide all of that. Let's put the wings at 0.25 stroke weight so it matches the rest of this. That is insane. It's insane. I'll hide the sketch a little bit so you guys can see. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do 15% gray on those. This will kind of help you guys see a little bit of the layering for this. That is not what I meant. Actually, let's do that. She's not actually going to be these colors. She's going to be like the colors that she appears in, but you guys can actually like see some of this layering that's going on now that I have like this good base worked out. Umacorn says, just looked at my schedule for the coming week, but did we only have 1 week of daily creative challenges last time? I don't see any encores for the new DCCs. That is a good question. I'm not sure. I have not been paying like super attention to that, so I'm really not sure. Let's do this as like a green so you guys can see. That we can do probably in this darker blue color. The sky we'll just do in pink. But yes, she definitely will not be these colors. She's gonna be all this white and stuff that you have here. But filling the colors like this will help me color block in which parts go to which parts. So basically, when I go to cut this in the Cricut, I can organize everything by color, but since she's like mostly white, it's gonna be really hard to do that because everything's gonna get cut out in white. So that way, I can cut the specific like color portion, like one at a time, and then like separate it so I know like this is like front cloth 1, front cloth 2, you know, stuff like that. Okay. I think what I would like to do now is I would like to go back to the body. So let's lock everything, view our sketch, and let's hide everything but her body. So she's just really going to be a floating body right now. Okay, and then you'll notice that I have, oops, like this really odd shape for her body. That is so I have stability for when I glue her head onto her body. I have like extra support and extra paper like up towards like the forehead area, so that way the head's just not like wobbling all around and like doesn't risk like breaking everything. Okay, let's come into our sketch and we're gonna turn off body. We're gonna turn off some of this so it's a little bit easier for me to see. Leave her head on. She doesn't look that scary. Let's do a save. Okay, so if we come look at our reference pictures, she has all this fun like silver and blue in here. Everything that is silver is going to be cut out as like a piece of paper or vinyl. I haven't decided yet. I need to do some tests. And then everything that is blue, I think I'm going to have it, the Cricut is going to draw on with like a blue metallic marker so it's like shiny. I think that'll look really, really cool with I'm going to add like a big crystal behind her in the background, and I'm going to put fairy lights in it. So I think that'll be really cool. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay. Let's come in here, pull this back up, I can see this area. And then let's start with the silver area. Oops. So for this part, I'm gonna make sure that some of this juts off of like her actual physical body, like clothing, just a little bit. And then she will obviously she needs like a crease in her arm here, but that needs to get drawn on with colored pencils. So she's gonna like kind of look like her armpits are like connecting to her chest until I like get her cut out. So please ignore that for right now. Okay, so it looks like what we can do here is we can connect this. See, Andre is answering Umacorn and saying that there were 2 daily creative excuse me, daily challenges. And Katarina said it's the 2nd week of replays right now. Umacorn says, okay, perhaps that will be seen in the feed tomorrow. And Bliss is confirming that she sees the encores for this week. Umacorn says, LOL, it just refreshed and they popped up now. It was just being stubborn. You know, that's just how it be sometimes. Okay, so there's that. Again, I think that I will be drawing on like all of these like divots and like textured detail in there. Let's actually bring this up just a smidge more. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's pretty good. So then underneath that, we need another layer. Kind of goes around like this. So this I will probably make out of paper, and then I will fill it in with like a silver metallic marker, I think. So it's shiny. Oh. But basically I can tell the Cricut to like draw on some of this stuff or cut some of this stuff. Okay, so we're gonna put a point there, and then we're gonna bring this up in a really weird, awkward way underneath this piece of paper that I would not normally do, like in a digital illustration, because I want to make sure that all of this is like stable and gets glued on together properly. So let's fill this in white. Or we cannot. That's fine. There we go. Bring that to the front and save. Umacorn says no, but they really weren't there before. Haha, I refreshed a couple of times, but never mind. And Umacorn is asking how large the paper craft is going to be. So this is going to be my biggest one. It's going to be, what did I say earlier? I forgot already. 16 by 20. Hold on one second. We'll go get, yeah, the giant guy. Wait, look. It's pretty big. It's as big as me. So she'll be like placed in the center. The crystal will be visible behind her, and then her wings will stick off the edges. That is my best description of what I have. Umacorn says, oh, nice. And Andre says, cool. Yeah, I'm hoping this one will turn out super cool. This is going to give me like a lot of room to experiment. I think I'm going to have to buy a bigger Cricut mat, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I only have like the 12 by 12 ones, so. Umacorn says, is this client work? It is not. I wish it was. Yoshi P, if you're out there listening, he's the director of Final Fantasy XIV. If you need some paper crafts made, I'm your girl. No, I'm just kidding. This is just a fun project. Final Fantasy XIV, I've been playing since 2014, ironically. It's a giant MMO, so massive multiplayer online game. And the most recent expansion came out for it in December. So this is one of the boss fights that came out. And I just thought she was really cool looking. And I was like, I'm going to make her a paper craft. And here we are. See, and I almost said Andal. Trying to read your sentence that you typed and your name at the same time. I'm sorry. Randall says, wait. You can print and cut larger than 6.75 by 9.25, or is that only the max for the print and cut? That is the max for the print and cut. This is going to be cut out of cardstock, and then I'm going to put on the details. I also have the Cricut Explorer, which can do, I don't know if they all can do it. I don't know like a ridiculous amount of about all the different Cricut models, but it can also, you can get the pens, and the pens can draw on what you tell it to if you attach it to like the paper. So, see, Randall says, I know vinyl can go longer, but I thought that was a different setting. So, I haven't actually tried to cut anything larger than 12 by 12 yet, because I haven't had a need to. I think the 12 by 12 will work for most of my purposes, because if you think like this is 16 by 20, she's going to be put in the middle, plus there's going to be something behind her that needs to be visible. So I think it will be enough space on the 12 by 12 to cut, like, for that. I'm not sure if I'll need like a longer Cricut mat yet. Cardstock really only comes in 12 by 12 sheets anyhow, but it was just like a thought for like anything for the background and stuff like that. Randall saying Andal. I tried, okay, I tried. Okay, so let's reflect this. We can kind of move that out that way a bit. That was a hiccup, you'll have to excuse me. Okay, I need to look at her standing again. So it looks like we have another piece of silver that comes down her leg, and then the rest of it is all blue. So I think that's what I marked for myself here, was this piece of silver. And then the rest of it needs to be drawn on. Okay. We have like some kind of weird... Randall says we should make another Discord Cricut crew. I'd be down for it. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure there's Cricut Discords out there that exist, but like, Behance Cricut crew, let's go. And then we have Grozov in the chat. I'm sorry, but I don't speak whatever language you are typing in the chat. I apologize, but hello, and thank you for joining my stream. Ah, thank you, Randall. Randall says they're saying, do you have an Arabic person? No, I am so sorry. Oh, they say no problem, thank you. But thanks for popping into my stream. It's good to see you. I saw that, Odari. Odari says LOL. My eyes just like lost focus for a second. Okay, so there's that. Oh, we did up there already, cool. Okay, so let's make all of these like, I don't know, a darker gray than we've been using. We're gonna use the free transform tool here to kind of bully that into place. Okay. That is really not a good... That, however, is a good view. What time is it? I got about 20 minutes left. And she just, like, it kind of, like, looks like now that these kind of, like, come up like that, to be honest, and, like, form another... Yeah, they do. Okay. I didn't notice that when I first, Let's come back up here. I think we can make that work. We will just go like this instead. Randall says Sarah is the liaison of live streaming, it seems. Nonsense. Connie, I'm not sure how to answer that question. I would think if you're looking to buy a print of somebody's art, you would have to buy it from them. And then Grozov is saying, what's the name of the drawing program? We are in Adobe Illustrator right now. So AI, Adobe Illustrator. And then Kenneth is here. Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth is another streamer here on Behance. There is a link to Kenneth's Behance profile. That was a tongue twister for me today. Kenneth is saying, looks nice so far. Thank you very much. And Kenneth says, love your work. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very appreciated. Kenneth also does a lot of really amazing Illustrator work, so be sure to check out Kenneth's Behance. See, I want to say this like goes this way. That's probably... Kenneth is asking, is this a specific character? Yes, this is Hydaelyn from Final Fantasy XIV. Otherwise known as Mom. She's Mom. No one else is going to understand that reference unless you play the game, but she is Mom. Just please know that. Okay, so it kind of looks like these actually connect, which I had not picked up on when I was doing the sketch for this. So actually, these come up higher. Okay, I see. Okay. We're gonna lock her body, and this will probably be the last thing that I am able to get to on stream, but that's okay. And we're gonna take all of probably this, and we are gonna do a little scoot. Like that, and then I think this needs to get combined actually. Let's that was actually probably good. Let's see. Kenneth says, ah, cool. Randall's saying she's Mom. Haha. Yes, she is Mom. You'd have to play the game to understand. She's the mother of everything. She's a giant crystal that talks to you for half the game. She's a god. Goddess. It's a whole thing. Grozov is asking if my accent is American or British. It is American. And Umacorn is saying, oh, I just remembered I saw a Final Fantasy animation once. You probably, if you saw like a movie, It was probably either Spirits Within, Kingsglaive, or Final Fantasy VII. My lord. Sorry, getting distracted. Or the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie. So, all are very good. Do recommend. Okay, I think that looks quite a bit better. So let's reflect. Oh, good, it's only 3:45. I thought that was going to take a significant more amount of time. Push that in a bit. Randall says, yeah, I think I know about Final Fantasy XIV. I think the only thing I know about Final Fantasy XIV are the TikToks I sent you, which are accurate. Yes. Umakron is saying, wow, do I see this correct? There are over 1,000 people watching, Sarah. I don't know. I try not to pay attention. Just be natural. Just say hello to everybody. But that's awesome either way, and thank you, everybody. And Umacorn saying, I'm pretty sure that's a bug. Yeah, they were saying, like, in the Behance chat, there was a carousel bug for a while where, the view counts were, like, way higher than they actually were. Womp womp, super sad. But, basically what it was is, every time the carousel was getting viewed on, like, your phone, it was counting as, like, a massive amount of, like, viewers. So it's probably a bug. Either way, still super cool that there are people in here talking and watching me draw. It's the coolest thing ever. Kenneth is saying Final Fantasy was one of the series that I never really played. I know. Bad Ken, that's okay. There's a lot of games. It's never too late to get into it. Or just to, like, watch something about it. Really good stories. Very good stories. Very often sad stories. Stephen Booth says, but we don't hold your accent against you. I have a very Midwest American accent. I'm sorry. I probably have a very monotone, squeaky voice. I think I do. It's all right. Umacorn is saying Kenneth brought all the people. And Odari is saying all are great movies. Yes, all of the Final Fantasy movies are fantastic. Would recommend them if you're into that kind of thing. Oh, thank you for the follow, Grozov. There is my little button. You are appreciated. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to contour some of these blue shapes on here. As you can see, we're also very off from the symmetry on this, which is part of the stuff that I wanted to fix about the body. I was talking about that earlier. I don't know if anyone caught it. We're going to make this a very bright blue. And then that goes down a little bit. No, I kind of don't like it down. Let's keep it up. Okay. So we need to scoot this over quite a bit. There we go. And then keep in mind for everybody who is watching that this is the ultimate goal here is this is going to be turned into a paper craft. So that is why I'm leaving everything. I mean, it's very detailed, but everything is like pretty plain, like shading wise, and it's just flat color and everything. Oh, I just got a poor network issue. I apologize. That happens sometimes. That a compound path. So I'm going to leave this as lines, and that is because the Cricut will draw on this shape as a line, and then I can fill in like the fill for the color. I missed quite a lot of stuff. I'm scrolling back up. Kind of saying I have to finish Cyberpunk 2077 and then start Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. I haven't played either of those, so I've heard both are very good, especially now that they've fixed like all the bugs with Cyberpunk, but I haven't played either of them. And Umacorn is saying the last game I played is Age of Empires. Stephen Booth is saying I like your accent. Well, I'm glad. I think it's mousy, but what can you do? And Daniel is saying Midwest accent. Haha, do you call it pop or soda? That's the real question. It is pop up here. Occasionally I'll say soda to be funny, but everyone just kind of looks at me like I'm crazy. But I definitely call it pop. Everything is pop. Kenneth calls it soda. Umacorn saying I love accents. And then Kenneth is saying down in Tennessee, it's all called Coke. Yes, that is true. We went to go visit my friend in Arkansas over about a year ago now, and everything is Coke there. What kind of Coke do you want? He had to like warn us before we went to a restaurant because we were like, what? Okay, so let's use this again. And then this is probably just going to be like a simplified version of this symbol on... I'm using this guide as to make like a straight line. This is probably just going to be a very simplified version of this shape. And then I can do like some more handwork on it, so to speak. We really just need it to mark like on the body where like the basic shape goes, if that makes sense. Odaria is saying, LOL Kenneth, is it just Coke? Everything is? Yes, everything is literally just Coke down in the South. Most of the South. Faisal is saying McDonald's burger is similar and tasty. I'm not a huge fan of McDonald's, but yes. Gareth says Coke and Pepsi taste like dirt to me. I think Coke and Pepsi are different in different countries, if that makes sense, because of like nutrition laws and stuff. Not that I'm saying that that's like a good thing. I know the US is a very unhealthy country. But I think like in different countries, stuff tastes different, if that makes sense. Kenneth is saying Cyberpunk is massive. Literally, if you just do like the side quests, it could take forever. Yeah, I feel that. One of my favorite games is Nier, Automata, and Replicant, and those have like a ton of side quests too. Okay, let's come in here. And then we can just change that a little bit. We're just gonna duplicate these 3 points. reflect. Okay, so now we have like a basic version of this like shape on her right here on like her collarbone. I'm gonna make sure that's lined up with this, even though it's technically off center, that's okay. Oh, I am so behind on the chat. I am so behind on the chat. You guys are talking about drinks and food, and now I'm hungry and I want something to drink and food. I got a smoothie, but it's not really that great. Ooh, Umacorn is saying I've never had cream soda before. The name frightens me a little bit. Is it just the name? Yes, it's just the name. It's not actually cream and soda. It's just a very like smooth, light tasting, like carbonated beverage. I love cream soda. I love orange cream soda. Vanessa says everything is big in the US, including the Coke and the burger. That is true. That is very true. Oh geez, it's 10 p.m. where Kenneth is. Whew, that's late. It's bedtime. I really like sleep, so. Okay, so for this last little bit of my stream, we're gonna move this out of the way. I only have about 4 minutes left. We made it very far. Let's get a view. We're gonna hide our guides for a second. Hide guides. We're gonna fill in. Oh, I seem to have moved part of her unlock all. I moved part of her arm. Oops. There we go. And for everybody who just tuned in, I just want to show you guys all the progress that we made on this, because the very end part of the stream here was just a very small snippet of everything that's going into this. Things I still have left to finish. I have to finish the sword. I have to finish the detail work on the body, and she has these very cool, very fashionable pointy boots that I need to add to her feet. So those will need to be added, and I'll have to work out the details on the sword, but let's hide our sketch, and then we will unhide everything else so you guys can kind of see. Something has moved, and I don't know why. Oh, this is not filled in. Boop, there we go. So you guys can kind of see what this is gonna end up looking like. So the end result for this is gonna be a massive paper craft. It's gonna be 16 by 20. The wings are gonna be hanging off the edge of the paper craft, so that's why I'm not concerned that they're hanging off of the artboard here. And we are gonna put this crystal behind her. I'm gonna make it out of like clear acetate that I decorate with like some sparkles and like some stuff that'll catch light. And there will be fairy lights in there. I don't think acetate is the correct word. I can't remember what it's called. Either way. So that is why we are working in flat shape and flat color, because I'm going to plug this into the Cricut machine, and the Cricut is going to, you know, cut everything out. See, Kenneth is going to bed. Kenneth says great work. Excited to see where the paper project goes. Thank you so much for popping by, Kenneth. And he also says, oh, it looks so rad. Get some sleep. Thanks for tuning in. It was good to see you. And everybody is talking about pop, basically. Soda, pop, carbonated beverages. Sorry, I'm catching back up on the chat. You guys got such good conversation going. I love it. I love it. On that note, I'm going to pop off for the day. I'm going to go take a break from this because I'm only working on this on stream. It's going really well. I'm very excited. It's going to be really hard not to work on it on my own time. But I will be here next weekend, same time, same place, provided I don't get sick again. So be sure to give me a like and give me a follow to get notifications for when I go live if you're interested to see where this goes. And I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for being here. There were so many of you today. Andre, Annika, Biola, Bliss, Daniel, Dave, Nick, thanks for modding today. Gareth, Grozov, Katarina, Kenneth, Odari, Randall, Stephen Booth, Umacorn, Vanessa, and all these new faces in here. Thanks for all the follow and the good conversation. And I will see you all next weekend. Bye, everybody.